Hi, everybody, and welcome to the PCC EMCO ISNI Community of Practice meeting. We are reconvening after a bit of a pause. We had a leadership transition, and then we also had a second cohort onboarding onto the EMCO early adopters phase, and so that that left us in a spot where we were trying to scramble to get this community of practice going again. So I'm Jennifer Liss. I kind of stepped in as an interim coordinator for this ISNI community of practice. And I'm happy to kind of just keep the ball rolling while we attempt to find some new folks to sort of run the day-to-day meetings and getting just calendars sorted out and things. So anyway, hello, good to see you all. I'm just gonna say up front that I really don't know that much about ISNI. I've worked with Emma Rogas for quite some time, and Emma's taught me quite a bit. Any misunderstandings on my part are not Emma's fault. She's tried. She's been very patient with me. Um, but you know what? I'm good at calendaring. I can schedule meetings. Like that's all I need to do for coordinator. So I'm just here to sort of support this group and give it whatever it needs to keep going. And then do some communication between ISD community of practice and then PCC. So that also means, though, that I'm playing some catch up. I don't know much about what was sort of in progress when the group has been going for the last year or so. And so some of the agenda reflects that I'm catching up. We're trying to re-establish what's going on. And part of it is we may have new people on the community of practice, and they will also need to catch up and figure out what's going on. So I might as well be part of the second cohort. Hello. Welcome if you are also just joining this community of practice. We're so glad you're here. So I'm going to spend the first part just saying a few more words about what we hope to accomplish. So the Program for Cooperative Cataloging is an international collective that tries to make cataloging cheaper for all libraries by sharing best practices, standards, training, lots of training, and in an effort to sort of make the PCC more ready for a linked data future, we are also doing a foray into identity management. So taking our expertise that was traditionally like MARC-based authority control and shifting it toward, hey, we're going to start managing entities and relationships between entities. And so one of the ways we did that, I think it was the first pilot with a registry the PCC did back, I want to say 2018, but that could be wrong. We did a PCC ISNI pilot, and that's where we really sort of dipped our toe in, started actually using the editor, doing some creation of entities, maintenance of entities, and really a lot of experimentation happened during that time. There is still documentation somewhere. I had it open and now it's gone. I can share it later. Anyway, yeah, in the wiki. So if you find it, feel free to post it in the agenda or in the chat. But um, so yeah, so there was a pilot. It went pretty well, we thought, but then it kind of got quiet. We did another pilot with Wikidata. So there's another community of practice just focusing on Wikidata. And so we came out of all of those pilots and thought, we're ready. Let's launch a program. So the PCC policy committee gave us the green light. We said, great, we're creating a new fifth program of the PCC called the Entity Management Cooperative, or EMCO for short. And when we first got that launched, what made the most sense was organizing EMCO around communities of practice that would be, initially at least, based on a registry. And so we have a Wikidata, we have ISNI, this one, and then we have a WorldCat entities registry, also sort of working in parallel. So that's hopefully why you're here today. The goal of the EMCO early adopters phase is to actually build EMCO. It's not like in existence quite yet. We're still trying to get it going. Um, the PCC is known for really robust training and documentation, and even helping review the catalogers who were trying to become like independent contributors to a program. And for EMCO, none of that exists yet. And maybe parts of it won't. Like, I don't know how we review someone on creating Wikidata identifiers. We're gonna think about it. We're gonna be very sort of deliberate and maybe a little slow at first to think through, does the old model for what the PCC has done in other programs fit with EMCO, or do we need something else? And so part of the EMCO early adopters experience will be helping think through, how do we design a program to support linked data work with entities? And so I hope that that's also appealing to you. If it's not, and you would rather come back to EMCO when we have training, we have documentation, we've got all the metadata application profiles for you to use, that's okay. That's fine. And you're welcome to sort of lurk on the community of practice while we try and spin it all up. But if you are excited to sort of help us think through the challenges, figure out how to make this a workflow that works in our libraries or archives or etc., then I hope you'll stick around and sort of help us think through. What we've found is that there's a lot of interest internationally in this work, and we were overwhelmed by how much interest there was from the other side of the hemisphere. PCC has mostly been English speaking and relationships with those mostly in Europe. But the response was much broader than that. And we thought, oh, wow, we're onto something. So we're going to do our best to record meetings. We may even think about trying to shift meeting times so that we can actually accommodate someone, say, in Australia once in a while, so that it's just a little bit more equitable. They're not having to watch meetings all the time. Maybe they can attend synchronously once in a while. But that will mean sometimes, if I'm leading it, I'm going to be up at 10 o'clock at night, or it's going to be a strange time and it's not going to work. And I think we may have to embrace a little bit more asynchronous work. So just putting that out there, that is a possibility. Okay, I just talked a lot. So are there any questions about EMCO, the early adopters phase, ISNI community of practice, what we're hoping to do, sort of generally? I'm happy to take any questions.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I just was wondering how do we see the different community practices working together?
Oh, I love this question. Thank you. So it's Ian, right?
Yes.
From
National Library of Wales.
Wales, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate that. I'm gonna probably ask everybody to say like who they are, where they're from, just so we get to know each other. Um, so there is an EMCO coordination committee that and the members are members of, boy, I feel like I need an org chart. Okay, so there's a PCC Identity Management Advisory Committee, or IMAC, and that's a group that I serve on. And so that committee, plus all the coordinators for each of the registry community of practices, serve on that group. And that's the way that we share information across. We try to do some sort of, I wouldn't say long-term planning because it's not like we're thinking 10 years out, but maybe just like 6 months out. Like, we're trying to get a little further into, where do we expect this to all be? Um, and so I think that's where a lot of the communication's happening, in a like strategic sense, I suppose. And then there is an EMCO listserv that you are all invited to be on. And so that, I think, is how it's intended. The listserv's been pretty quiet. And I think that's just a factor of everybody trying to get their footing. And we just rolled on a bunch of new people, so it's happening like all over again, where everybody has to like reorient, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, So, yeah, did that answer the question? Yeah, good one.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, anything else about sort of the big picture, what we're hoping to do?
I'm assuming the main aim on the ISNI side is making sure that the data is as robust and correct as possible first, though, and then because obviously
Mhm.
we don't want to be sharing data that is incorrect or there's I don't know some records that have multiple identities and things like that. So we have to make sure that
Duplicates.
yes,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I know a lot of us have been doing a lot of good work on making sure that, especially the data that came in initially, is
Mm.
getting deduped and corrected and whatnot. So I think that new records is not much of an issue because there shouldn't be any duplication with the new records we add from now on. Well, I say that, but hopefully that is the case. But
Right.
it's just the legacy data. I think there's more of an issue.
Yeah. And I see you unmuted.
So yeah, just to add to that as well, I think something that I would hope that this community practice would work towards is that there's probably different levels of expertise with this now, and so that sort of working and supporting each other. So those of us who've a little bit more experience can help support people who are quite new, sharing best practice, sharing where documentation is, answering questions, things like that. So I see it as a kind of supportive community in that way as well. We learn off of each other.
I'm going to attempt to take notes. Anyone is welcome to help me if you want to do that, but that's why I'm maybe quiet for a moment. Okay. Yeah. So this community practice, commitment to quality data, that's what I heard, and then commitment to helping each other. I love it. That's what we want. Okay. Well, it feels
Um,
like a good, go ahead, sorry.
oh no, I was going to say, I'm not sure if the last meeting was recorded, but this is the last meeting I remember going to, but myself and my colleague Angela did a presentation about sort of the background of ISNI and where it
Hmm.
came from and what it's all about as well. So things like that can be sort of helpful to share with people who are a bit new to it.
Okay. That is a great segue, Emma. So I can move us into number two. So this is partly me trying to catch up, like, what's this group been doing? So one of the things that Emma just mentioned was there was a recording. Link is in the agenda now, and I'll throw that in the chat one more time. I think I saw some people come in. Here's where we are in the agenda. So we're in number two. So Emma and Angela, is that her name? Thank you. Um, did this really good presentation on what is ISNI? What is it? What's its purpose? What is its governance structure? How do people contribute? And where might we help? And so all of that is in a recording. I just put the link to the recording in the slides. It was from February. It gives a really good overview. It would be good, a follow-up item. I think it's actually in the action items. Yeah, I put it in the action items for this meeting. If you haven't seen it, go look. That's a good background information there. Okay, so we got an overview. That's something we've worked on. Has this group talked about how it might keep statistics, or is it too soon to even talk about is these statistics yet for EMCO? I don't I suspect that hasn't come up yet.
Don't think so, but yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Okay.
So, um, the other topic that came up last time was how to sort of contribute and how to be a member if your organisation isn't already a member and things like that, how that might work.
I think I'm gonna have to turn my sound up a little bit. I think what I heard was like what counts as a contribution? Was that what you said, Emma? Sorry.
Yeah. So what
Okay.
contribute, but also for organisations that might not already be members, was there some kind of consortium that could be joined, perhaps? So it was around,
Oh, in order to actually do the work. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Oops. I put this in the wrong spot. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. So ways for. No, yes, I did. It's in the wrong area.
Yeah,
I can't take notes.
because I don't think we are able to collect our own stats because we kind of work through the BL anyway.
Ah,
So
okay.
so the only way we
That'll
could
be
do it is
tricky.
just yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the stats you contribute through British Library, are they EMCO or are they? Yeah, interesting. Okay. We'll have to think about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I'm right in thinking, I'm saying that we code all ours as NACO work.
So yes, yeah,
Yeah,
LC NACO. I think we tag ours as well. We have to we use it with the LC NACO.
yeah. So the legal
Oh, interesting.
office in the UK kind of work together to sort of say, we're doing this ISNI work alongside our NACO work. So they're contributing as kind of like NACO.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It seemed like
S-
to begin with, but then it makes it a little bit difficult
yeah, yeah, no.
who's done what.
Yeah. It sort of touches on something we get a lot of questions about at like the advisory committee level, which is what does entity management work look like in your local institution's workflow? And that's interesting that there's already some of that happening, but just in a different context, maybe not the EMCO label yet, but there might be a model there. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, taking notes. Okay. All right. So this group's just getting cooking, it sounds like, which is good. All right. So I'm going to move on to the third item. So we wanted to make sure that communities of practice run themselves and have a lot of latitude to sort of decide how to approach a thing within maybe some very general guidance from the PCC. And so this is a little weird for me because I am like PCC sitting in like I'm wearing two hats, and so I'm gonna really try to make sure that this group functions sort of as independently as it can. And we do that because each registry works differently. There's a governance structure for ISNI International Agency that's totally different from Wikidata, right? Like, and so the communities themselves just have a different culture. And so we don't feel at the PCC level like we can tell you what to do because we don't actually know. So um, one of the things I wanted to sort of get a sense of from this group is in terms of contributing good data, sharing good data with the ISNI registry, what do you want to see come out of ISNI being a part of a PCC EMCO program? Like, what would be some great outcomes of that for you, for your institution, if you're a member as an institution? I'm just wondering if anything comes to mind there.
I think the important thing is that the data's transferable to each, well, Wikidata and NACO. So and there's no confusion between identities then. That
Hmm.
the that the that there's like a thread going through each of them.
Putting the link in link data.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
PCC has been really good at duplicating data. We've not
mm,
been so good at linking. So I
mm.
agree. Yeah.
But as mentioned before, we kind of do that with the legal deposit libraries anyway, with NACOs and ISNI. Just
Hmm.
the Wikidata is the part that's missing there, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So building a network of data of
Yeah,
trusted data. I think
Yeah,
that's the thing we can contribute. Yeah.
and making sure that there's enough information there to ensure that there's no duplication as well. So
Okay. It seems like you're going a little bit toward um maybe a metadata application profile, like a
unfortunately, that's my
minimum. Unfortunately,
yes, yeah,
go
uh,
figure, a metadata
yes,
person
yeah,
wants standards.
yeah. It's kind of seeping out of it, maybe.
That's okay. That's all right. It's good to know, right? How does that resonate with others, or do others have things they would like to see come out of an ISNI community practice in a PCC context?
I think for me personally, uh, more recognition of ISNI. I think, the Wikidata community practice is huge. A lot of people do use Wikidata, very familiar and comfortable with it. And I think ISNI is still quite new for people. Maybe seems
Hmm.
to be a little bit unobtainable. So I think, just to get that recognition out there and showing the benefits of it.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think for us, it was just something else we were asked to do was ISNI, and then we're
Yeah.
kind of just thrown into it. So it'd be nice to have a kind of onboarding kind of this is the benefits of doing ISNI. And for us, it was just it's another thing to do on top of everything else. So why should we be bothering to use ISNI? I already
Yeah.
think seeing the wiki and seeing the practice notes already great because our kind of training was we kind of trained ourselves a lot in that and a lot of we've made our own documentation. So having that kind of community would really help.
Okay. Carol, can you introduce yourself?
I didn't even do that. That's so rude.
That's okay. No worries.
So I'm Carol. I'm at the National Library of Scotland. So I work actually with Ian and Emma, that kind
Okay.
of legal deposit library kind of network.
Amazing. Thank you. It's good to hear that people already have some amount of documentation because boy, I don't want to reset the wheel. Like why why try to reinvent it? It'd be interesting to see if we could compile maybe some documentation if people are willing to share, to kind of see if that's a good, baseline or things could inform a PCC ISNI recommendation. Okay. Anyone here just want to learn more? Like, I think that's also an acceptable outcome. I just want to learn something more. Yeah, Chloe. Hi.
Hi there.
Can you
Sorry.
introduce yourself and then
Yeah. My name is Chloe Noland. I'm a cataloging librarian at University of California, Santa Cruz, in the US. Sorry, I was off camera. It's a little early here, so I was just eating breakfast. Um, but yeah, my institution currently isn't a PCC one, and so I've never had that kind of training. And won't be getting it through work. But I'm very interested in, these projects and we don't really use any kind of bid frame systems yet. So I'm really hoping to just get, yeah, exactly what we're saying, more information, more context, kind of unofficial training. But yeah, I understand
yeah.
it's very like new. So I'm happy to be in a newer environment because I'm new to this. So thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. So we always need people who are just like along for the ride, and then we can ping them and say, "How's this going?" Like as a new person, how is this landing for you? I think that's super helpful when we're talking about documentation we're trying to develop or a training that, it's always hard being the first to do something, right? It's like you don't know how it's gonna go. So yeah, however, I thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, EMCO, if you're we're trying to figure out the governance in PCC speak about like, can Chloe now say that they are a PCC member? And we're getting closer to saying yes. So because you joined EMCO. So anyway, we're pushing for that. So anyway, welcome. All right. Anything else we should note about some outcomes, short or long term?
I realised I didn't actually introduce myself before I
Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
So I work at the British Library and I'm a robot. I'm also on IMAC with Jennifer too. And I also chair the ISNI Technical Advisory Committee, so it's like gathering all the technical requirements from the ISNI community and prioritising those and getting put forward for development. So sorry, I should have said that earlier. So also I think some are useful maybe in the future for this kind of community is a sort of discussion sharing place for sort of new things within the Disney world, like a new community to an audience to discuss things with. For example, at the moment, I'm on a working group where we're talking about do we assign business for AI creators and sort of things like that. So having this kind of community be a really good place to bring things like that to say, what do you think about this? You know, is it a good idea? Isn't it? Do you have use cases we could use? It's just getting those extra users that you can discuss things with and get different viewpoints. I think could be really useful.
That is fascinating. So I'll say, Emma, PCC does not consider AI tools to be agents.
Yes.
They are works.
Yes. I've shared that with the working group, the PCC FAQ.
Okay, good. Yeah, you probably saw the documentation in the FAQ, but anyway, that's the stance. So interesting. Anyway. All right, so there will be a moment where I'm going to have to grapple with schedules for everybody, and I'm sure that'll come out in the form of some sort of poll to see, what time zones work. If we have strong sort of UK, Europe, plus the West Coast of the United States, like there is a very narrow time band that works for that group. And then if we have others, we can try to flex dates once in a while, or times, I guess time zones once in a while. But so I'll be looking for some time for us to sort of meet. I wondered before we get into the next agenda item, how often we would like to meet as a community of practice. Is there a sense on a cadence that would be appropriate? I think the previous coordinator had started monthly. Okay, seeing Chloe say monthly. Okay. That was my gut feeling was monthly, but if someone's like, that's too much, then I suppose that person can also just not attend monthly, catch up later. But oh, thanks, Ian. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. Okay. While I was thinking it, I wanted to check. Okay, so we're gonna move on to number 4. This is again just another sort of open discussion item. So what would be most useful to work on in the next 6 months for this community? And let's assume for a moment that the PCC is able to get everybody access to like editor tools and things. We think we're really close, but we're not quite there yet.
Hello.
Yeah.
This will be my chance to excuse myself for also going video off because I am going to be presenting directly after this and I want to like save my
Oh,
facial expressions.
okay, no
I know
worries.
that sounds weird, but my
No, no,
face
no, I get
literally
it.
gets tired.
You're
Um,
on. I get it. It's fine.
But so I just wanted to echo the metadata application profile, particularly minimum requirements for records and some things around, what to do with like pseudonyms. Do we want those to, I mean, those RDA kind of conflicts
Oh,
with what Meridian is doing with that already. And so, RDA considers them one person, an agent, but the way that Meridian is currently set up, they are still separate records with like the equivalent of sort of a C also happening. For now, we don't know, that may change. So
mhm.
those I will also this is an opportunity to introduce myself as being in that community of practice. So I'm like, um, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
kind of a lurker here. At this point, we have made a decision to get that platform for 2 years at WVU, so that's what we're officially using for a couple years. However, um, we want to keep our options open because that is a, paid product, and it is there are some things. I mean, it's kind of Wild Westy at this point too. So,
Mhm.
um, I would be interested in that application profile kind of for the same reason that I'm in both groups. And if you want to kick me out, please you can, because I may
No, no,
not be
no.
creating any records in ISNI in the next 2 years. It's I would be interested to make sure I know how, but I don't know if that's something we can commit to. But in any case, I'm interested in that application profile for the same reason I'm in across groups, because we just really need some way of making decisions about that we can all follow before there's a lot of data to clean up.
Oh,
That's we're already experiencing that, like
yes.
I think.
Yes.
So I mean maybe I'm
Hmm.
getting over concerned about it because WVU is one of the first participating institutions with Meridian, and who is really working with it at pretty good scale out of
Mm.
the gate. So maybe there maybe other people aren't making mistakes at scale yet. Not that I want to say it that way. I'm sort of teasing.
Sure.
I mean, we're being
Yeah.
careful, but when I think about the ways in which we should be careful, I'm like, oh my gosh, are people already creating great big batches of records, having not made a decision about do we want a separate record for a pseudonym? Which for right now, I think the decision is yes, because that's how the this platform is built. Um, but again, it's not RDA compliant, so it's like so. And
Yep.
I will tell you all, I hope I'm not oversharing. I am a big OCLC fan, actually, but in the Meridian sort of office hours recently, we were talking about that specific issues, but I'm just kind of using that as an example. Um, they were like, oh, well, that's what EMCO will make decisions about what, the particular question was if we should continue to include aliases if we have
Mm.
that represented as a pseudonym relationship, and the argument is strongly that we shouldn't, because even though it would be beneficial for discovery, you should take care of that with indexing, and if you actually have aliases in there, it's harder to suppress them if somebody does really not want to be identified by their pseudonym. For
Yep.
instance, right? So they're like,
Yeah.
that's what we want EMCO to decide, but I really don't feel like, at least on the Meridian side, EMCO is like anywhere near in a maturity level to be like, we have decided, and now we're confident
Hmm.
people will do it that way. Like so yes, first of all, getting a metadata application profile, and figuring out how to distribute that, and gain buy-in, because at this point this is all sort of just, you know
We
it's
would
not buy-in,
do,
it's people
yeah,
participate in the systems or not, but like
that's
there are
right.
so many, and which ones are going to gain traction? Like
Yep.
how do we
Yep.
pitch which ones to whom?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
So EMCO is going to have to look at each registry and figure out how the data is modeled, and then figure out how do we cope with that. Because I don't think we get to say, Wikidata, just stop combining everybody together into one. Because they actually
oh,
are
right.
RDA compliant.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. PCC NACO is not. We just decided to go rogue. I don't know. And so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll have to see. So I share your uh is trepidation a good word? Like it's a little,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
yeah. And I do
appreciate that.
understand it's going to have to be different decisions, and then trying to make them interoperable anyhow, like that. I my sympathies are
Yeah.
there. Different
Hmm.
strokes for different folks.
Hmm.
The different schemas kind of have different purposes and different user bases.
Yeah.
But just yeah, like just within each the sort of platform-based user community, if we could start to come to little consensuses around those before there is
Hmm.
big data.
At
Um,
minimum, just document it, because I don't,
yeah,
it might have been new information that Wikidata collapses them all. Corporate bodies too. Like, names change or even merge or no, everything's all in one. It's like, what? So yeah, we have to figure out the data models and yeah, link data. It's so fun. Okay, anyway,
It's fun. Well, and
I
also,
appreciate that.
one final apology before I go off video again. I might disappear a little early if we're right up to the hour because I
Yeah, no worries.
have my
Please
thing.
get along to
Good
your
to see
next
you all.
meeting. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And we welcome lurkers, even if you don't plan to edit records or
If
anything.
I'm
That's
not
okay.
making widgets yet.
That's right. No worries.
So,
PCC has always welcomed thinkers and dreamers. So all of those folks are welcome. Okay. That's a lot to do. And there may be more things that come up later, but maybe just one, I'll pause for maybe 30 more seconds. Is there anything else we would like to try and do in the next 6 months, we'll say?
Do we want to note statistics down as an aim?
Yes. The PCC is asking for stats. So we'll have to figure out what that looks like. We are so close to having a document that says you must at least do this for statistics. And then each community practice could do more if they wanted, and each individual could do more. We understand that maybe you're also trying to make the case to an institution or boss about, hey, this is worth doing, and you may need to collect other kinds of data in order to do that. That's great. That's fine. But we also don't want to make anything burdensome for people. So we're gonna try to be thoughtful about stats, and we hope that the minima that we've outlined and is still in draft but almost ready to publish and share with you all is reasonable. So yes, statistics too. Thank you. Okay. I already talked about the standing meeting, so we are going to find a time. I'm probably just going to send out one of those polls. Sorry in advance for those, another awful poll about standing meeting times. What I'm going to do is try to pick one or two dates and times that generally work for like maybe one hemisphere and the other hemisphere. See where we go if we end up with like a big split where we just can't have everybody meet all at the same time synchronously. And then maybe we'll alternate, or if it works out that everybody could do it, we'll just pick one. But I think that's probably the way to make it most fair to everybody. So if you folks have a chance to check in synchronously. All right. Is there anything else we should chat about today? Again, hope to have a little bit more news soon about whether or not there will be some sort of like PCC like umbrella membership maybe or something to ISNI so that folks can actually start editing. So I'm hoping that in the next month or two we'll know more, but we're just not there yet. So a little more time for that to happen. In the meantime, there's plenty to work on. I wonder if we could perhaps share some more documentation that would help us think about minimum requirements, Emma. Maybe you and I could talk about that offline or kind of
Yeah,
strategize how to help people think through those questions.
can add to the agenda they're called richness criteria. So that's to get an assigned ISNI, you're looking to have rich data. And so there's different combinations of pieces of data that make a record rich. So I'll add that to the agenda notes.
Okay. Obviously, the PCC is not going to ask for something that directly contradicts a registry's like laid out policies. That's not us being a good neighbor, just to shout elbowing in and taking over their yeah, we don't want to do that. So we want to at least sort of respect the policies that are already in place by any registry. So okay, maybe that'll be something to think about. All right, so I'm gonna pause for 20 more seconds. Anything else anybody wants to share, just generally, or anyone who hasn't introduced themselves who would like to? No pressure. You don't have to. Just make it, I'll just pause for a few more moments.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Carolina Puri. I am an RDA cataloger in Casalini Libri. And
Welcome.
Casalini Libri is an ISNI registration agency since 2017. And we create and update ISNI for persons and organizations for our customers. And recently we appeared on the Get an ISNI page to start to create ISNI also for general public.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. That's So governance question about ISNI. So the British Libraries agency, is that like the same level as the Casalini, or is it different? I'm confused about.
Really was the act, so we are a registration agency. So you have if you're an ISNI member, you can work on your own data.
Okay.
If you're an ISNI registration agency, you can offer services and charge for those services to others.
Okay. So that's what Casalini is. Yes,
yeah.
Carolina.
So the British Library is an ISNI registration agency, and we did have an ISNI portal, which was open to the public. Unfortunately, it went down with our cyber attack. It's not come back yet. But the other hat that the British Library wears is that we are part of the ISNI quality team. So we do quality checking for database, we help onboard new members, we test the technical developments and everything, and answer general user queries that come through the website. The other half of the quality team is at Bibliotech National de France.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm new here. Okay. Yeah, I need to review your slides apparently on ISNI governance because I didn't remember that there was a tiered system. Okay. I see folks introducing themselves in the chat too. Thank you. Hello. Okay. This feels really exciting. So thanks for letting me run this for a time. I just want to give one last plug that I'm an interim coordinator. I can't do this indefinitely. I have other sort of big PCC things coming up I'll need to attend to. So I am looking for someone else to sort of help be just sort of like set up meetings and run the Zoom. That's really all the coordinator has to do is just sort of keep it going and attend. I think it's a quarterly meeting of the coordinators to sort of talk to the Wikidata and the WorldCat entities people. That's all the coordinator does really. They run the discussion list. And by run, that means they just like approve people who who join the registry roster and then join the discussion list. So it's a pretty low lift, but you get to kind of sit on the inside and help talk about how the PCC is going to do this work in the future, which is kind of fun. It's pretty cool. But I'm also happy to do it with somebody if you want to like co-coordinate with me for a while just to kind of get your feet wet. Happy to do that. So you're welcome to just reach out to me directly if you're interested. I'll put my email in the chat. Otherwise, I may have to start knocking on doors and begging people to do it. Anyway, okay. Well, thank you all for being here. So this was recorded. The recording will probably get up within the week. And I'll make sure that the link gets out to the discussion list. If you are not on the roster, I'm going to draw your attention on the agenda to the action items. There is a link to the PCC EMCO ISNI COP means community of practice. Sorry if we didn't say that somewhere. If you haven't joined the roster, make sure you get on it. This gets you access to lots of things, but you have to be on the roster for me to know that I need to get you access to all the things. So I also suggest, again, watching the recording of that introduction to ISNI that the British Library Quality team did. And then, yeah, that's probably it until maybe a month from now. Expect to see a scheduling poll come out soon. All right. Thanks for joining me, all. Good to see you. Thanks. Take care.